Hey, this is Beverly, and I will not be denied. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Be sure and share this with your friends and with your family. Look, this is like the third or fourth time that I have tried to make this video, and it's not coming out like I needed to or even wanted to. So the way it comes out is the way it comes out. Y'all eat the meat and spit out the bones, and I hope you get what you need out of it, because I can't do no more. Like, this is it, right? So I was in a situation and it was not so good. And then it took a turn for the worse, right? And I told God, for real, like, the situation itself is already bad. XYZ is bad. And now putting 1, 2, 3 on top of it, it's like pouring salt in the wounds. And what I heard in my spirit when I said that, salt in the wounds, what I heard in my spirit was, He's preserving you. And that reminded me of years and years and years ago when I was little. My grandparents had a smokehouse, and they would take whatever cow, pig, whatever they had, and they would kill it. And they would pack it in salt, put a whole bunch of salt on it and hang it in the smokehouse. And I think that's what they call curing. And it just preserved the meat. They didn't have the capacity of a large freezer. And so the salt would hold it for weeks or for months until they were ready to wash it off and cook it and all that stuff. And so the salt in the wound analogy, well, what I told God, it led into the thought of Him preserving me. And when you are preserved, it's kind of like you're frozen. You're kept in that same space. And what I saw in a vision-like situation was, I was in a glass container, right? And all of this stuff was flying past me. It was just zoom, 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 it was just going and going and going. I couldn't go to the left, couldn't go to the right, front, back, up, down. I was just stuck in that spot. I was kept under the glass. I wasn't getting hit, but I just couldn't move. And it's wild because I had a conversation with somebody today, and they just kind of confirmed that God was preserving me. And what I want you to know today is that even though you had the 1-2 punch come at you, and it just feels like trial on top of trial on top of trial, and it's like insult to injury, salt in the wound comes right behind it, God is preserving you. He's holding you right in that spot, because ahead of you is danger. Behind you is regret. To the left and right is distraction. Let Him do what He needs to do in us. Like, we're being preserved in the same spot. And we might say, God, it ain't fair. This person over here is always trying to trip me up at work and get me canned, but yet they're kind of getting a promotion. It's not fair. Let's be real. We have situations like that. We tell God, this ain't fair. This ain't even fair. But there's a reason for that. So whatever the salt in the wound is, just be okay with it. Find you some peace. That's like most important. You can't move anyway. You're in that same spot until God says go. And while you're waiting, get you some peace. Maybe that's why the salt in the wound kind of froze us. It's kind of like when we used to play 1, 2, 3 red light. The person up front had their eyes closed, their hand over their eyes, and they would turn around and circle 1, 2, 3 red light. When they get back to the beginning of the circle, whoever's moving had to go all the way back, and we would like stop on a dime. Like, if we were running like this and they turned around, our arm was up, we just kept it like that. So when you get hit or salt in the wound or whatever, just stop and find you some peace. You don't really have anything else to do. You're in that spot until God says go. So stop and find you some peace. The peace might mean you being by yourself for a season. It might mean telling some people no, I'll get with you later. It might mean telling yourself no. We're quick to tell people no and say, I'm not going to fool with this person anymore. I'm not going to fool with that person for the whole time of whatever. But are we telling ourselves no? I'm beginning to ramble, so let me wrap it up and say, just because there's salt in the wound doesn't mean it's not for purpose. Take the time while you are being preserved to breathe, to reset, to reconfigure some things, because when God removes that glass and he sends us out, we got to be able to move to the next step. We got to be able to look at the debris and those who were not as fortunate to be preserved, and we got to keep on going, because that might be a distraction. They might be the type of person, you remember, like, we used to go to the skating rink all the time when I was little. And there were some people who just could not skate to save their lives. And they used to skate wide-legged and looking like they were real crazy. They were getting ready to fall. They reach out for you. And when they go down, they take you with them. So while you're being preserved, get your mind right. Realize what you will and will not accept. Because when God takes us out of preservation, take the glass off, it's time to go ahead. And whoever was thrown around, like in the vision I saw, they might be reaching for you. And if you're not strong enough for the fight, they'll pull you down. Anyways, that's about it. I hope you guys got it, because I couldn't do it again. So I'm hoping y'all got it. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to release your genius, pull off the impossible every day. Remember, you will have whatever it is that you say. So be positive when you speak, Queen.